quality to it, because each one of these can have a particular function that accents the very nature of goodness. That's the individuation of goodness. Now notice the terms, stay there. All right. Perfecting, preserving, shielding from harm. It has a purging, a purifying effect, a purified from the old fears. It's a purgation, isn't it? Right? It's a turning about. It's a vitalizing. These are each a kind of good. They're a good, a goodness, each one. Together, each is a particular good. But the sum of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, shielding and perfecting should be the same, by the way. All right, vitalizing. All together, that's goodness. Those are the qualities. If you say something has goodness to it, you can say, wait a minute, if it has goodness, then is there something being perfected? Is the thing that's being perfected, is it preserving that perfection? Is it capable of shielding from harm? Is it a purifying? Does it get rid of something and bring about some goodness? Is it a result of turning about? Turning about. Yes. Does it release an energy so that you can go on to the next step? Yes. If those things are there, if each particular is there, then the sum of them is what we call the first principle, goodness. Now, therefore, each of these unifying things, each of these is an excellence, see? Each one of these is an excellence. Because when it's present in man, it brings about a good for him, her, right? Each is a particular kind of good, psychic good. The sum, first principle, goodness. Now, look here. The peculiar mark of intelligence is to know these existences. What do we mean by the existences? Those very things we just named. What are they? Come on. Perfecting, preserving, right? Purifying, 3 P's, and turning about, vitalizing, shielding from harm, which is another form of protecting. So it's actually 5. All right? Now, to know these existences means to experience them. That's the particular mark of intelligence. Right? You want to know, you want to experience these things in your life because it has a unifying effect. It brings about a higher degree of excellence in your own psyche or soul. Now, the peculiar mark of our intelligence is to know these existences, to experience them, right? To know, to experience, to enter into union with them, and to have, right, and what you want, have its perfection in intellectual acts, because each of these things, would you not agree, curiously enough, is an intellectual act. You had to face it with your mind, intelligent act. You went through an intelligent act. You had to call upon each of these things. Each of these things is an evidence. They're brought together. That bringing it together is a justification for us to say, that was good. Now,
to add why it was good is it was like forced me to have to participate on a level that I couldn't participate, to have to participate more.
And what's so good about participating more?
It would cause me to face the fears that I have about participating more.
That's true, but that's negatively. Take the positive now.
What's the main experience?
What's it like? Is there a positive side? Is that experience you were talking about, the X, rather interesting?
It's good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It was what kind of an experience?
It's good.
Thank you. Good.
Very good.
Thank you. Right. Look here now. See, communication. See, this communicating. We're communicating tonight. You're communicating with me. Your dream is communicating to you. You're reflecting on your dream. That's all communication. Communication and fulfillment comes about by a union between the things fulfilled and the principles prior to them. What does that mean? See? Our communication and fulfillment, this is what we're doing, comes about by a union between those things which we just mentioned and the principles that are prior to them. The principle that is prior to them is goodness. Ah, good. Now, you see, you're doing it through the mind, intelligence. You know what? That union that you experience is what the intelligence imitates in identifying with its object. That's rather complex, but let me put it in another way. See, there's something higher than intelligence, and the intelligence actually imitates in identifying with its object that next thing that we want to look at. It's something higher than intelligence. Now, intelligence, in the way in which we're using the word, all right, has three factors to it, all right? All right? It exists, right? It is something that you can participate in. You participated in your dream. The dream master gave you the dream, right? It is a production of the intelligence, but there's something that's driving the intelligence. You see, there's something driving the intelligence, and that's beyond the intelligence. And what is that that's driving the intelligence? Because that's what intelligence imitates in this very process, because you reached a union. Well, what is that? That's where we're going. So let's go right here first. Right? The thing that's higher than the intelligence is providence. That's a Greek concept. Let's not use any other concept for it. Maybe we even shouldn't use that English word. Now, this is what I want to say for a few minutes about divine providence. We're used to the idea that it transcends beings, God's providence. This is a different kind of providence. Well, look here, because here, let me go here first. What is providence? Let's just do that, Greek idea of providence. The bestowal of good things upon the beings which are its objects. Take our dream. Would you agree this dream had good, it was a goodness, right? The bestowal of good things upon the beings which are its objects. The dream master is bestowing this upon you, right? It bestows good things. We could represent them by those 5 ideas, couldn't we? And helps you bring a more fulfilled life. It brings about a higher degree of excellence and allows you to now participate on a higher, more meaningful level of existence, right? That is the distinctive character of providence. That's what it means. That's what providence really means. See, providence is pronoia. Pronoia, before intelligence. Pronoia is an activity prior to intelligence. It leads the intelligence. It leads the intelligence because with all of these great 5 things, which we're calling entities for the moment, right? The providence then is an activity prior to the intelligence. Since intelligence is I jumped for a moment. Providence is an activity that directs the intelligence, because it's the bestowal of good things upon the beings which are its objects. How it bestows those good things, then it can use the intelligence to map it out, to structure it, to design it, to order it, to make all the interrelationships. That's the function, the way the dream master creates the dream.